Hey, wait for me. Oh, no, don't fly off yet. I need a stone too, just a tiny pebble. Wait, why are you all carrying stones? Is this a breakfast thing I'm not invited to? Or, oh no, is this an exclusive sparrow meeting? I knew it. You never let a hoopoe join in your secret missions. Fine, I'll just take one little stone and... Ah, they're gone. Great, just great.
Har, har, har. Oh, Zaki, you look like a lost seagull in a sandstorm. Chasing after sparrows, are we?
Oh, wonderful. The one time I'm not looking for a seagull, one finds me.
And I found you looking mighty ridiculous, flapping about like a fish out of water.
For your information, Captain, those sparrows were on some top-secret mission involving tiny stones. And I, being the curious, investigative, and very important hoopoe that I am, wanted in.
Ah, I see. You've uncovered the legendary Sparrow Rock Cartel. Shady little birds, always up to something.
I knew it. Wait, you're joking, aren't you?
Oh, you bet your feathers I am. But I do reckon something's up. Birds don't just carry stones for fun, unless they're planning a massive game of pebble toss.
Or maybe, just maybe, this smells like a story. And you know what that means?
Aye, it means you're about to drag me into another one of your wild tales, isn't it?
Oh, you bet your beak it does. And trust me, Captain, this one is huge. Bigger than an elephant.
Bigger than an elephant. Now you're just making things up.
Oh, my dear Captain. It all starts with an army, a towering elephant, and a tiny, tiny stone.
Right. And I suppose this tiny stone changes everything.
Oh, you'll see. Let's just say you might never look at a pebble the same way again.
Ha! Zaki, nothing that small could possibly... Wait, you're serious, aren't you?
Oh, you bet your feathers I am. And so are the sparrows. Mirage Digital presents The Amazing Stories with Zaki the Hoopoe. Episode 22, The Year of the Elephant. Salam, my brilliant listeners. It's me, Zaki, your favorite hoopoe storyteller, back with another amazing tale. Today we're talking about something big. Bigger than my wingspan. Bigger than... well, an elephant's, trunk span. And yes, that's a hint. Tell me, have you ever heard of an army of elephants? No? Well, that's exactly what we're about to dive into. This is the story of Abraha, a proud king with a big plan, and how the tiniest creatures changed everything. And this story ties into something bigger, a bunch of stories that we will be exploring next season. That's right, this season of Amazing Stories with Zaki the Hoopoe is coming to an end. But worry not, my brave flyers. This was only Season 1. We will be back very soon with Season 2. But enough about the future. Let's fly into the past. Ready? Set. Soar. A long time ago in a city far, far... Wait, that's a different story.
Ah, alas, one of my favorite tales.
I'm more of a Rings fan. I love how the great eagles were the heroes. Anyways, a long time ago in the city of Makkah, there stood the Kaaba, the holiest place on earth. The very same Kaaba that Ibrahim and Ismail built from a few stories ago. And just like before, the well of Zamzam was right next to the Kaaba. Now let's see if you can remember what we talked about. Is the Kaaba really Allah's house? Nope. Remember, Allah is everywhere and doesn't need a house to live in like we do. The Kaaba is a symbol, a place where people can look towards with their hearts and minds. It's a reminder that no matter where you are in the world, you're part of something much bigger. People from all over the world came to worship there. It was the hot spot that everyone wanted to go to. But not everyone was happy about that. Far away in Yemen, there was a ruler named Abraha. He wanted people to visit his city instead of Makkah, so he built a grand temple. But no one came. This made Abraha furious. And you know what he decided? To destroy the Kaaba. If no one will visit my temple, Abraha thought. Then no one will visit Makkah either. Oh, Abraha, you clearly didn't know what you were getting into.
Nothing says, "Come visit my city," like destroying a sacred place. Brilliant marketing strategy. All these bad guys in all of our stories were, how do you say, feathers of a bird flapped together.
I think you mean birds of a feather flock together.
That's exactly what I said, young beaks.
Now, like the captain mentioned, doesn't this remind you of some other people we have met? Guys who get mad, who get jealous, who want to destroy something? Can you say Namrud? How about Pharaoh? The king and queen who tried to stop Prophet Yahya, Jalut, Prophet Yusuf's brothers. Oh goodness, so many bad guys who tried to stop the prophets and Allah. They don't learn their lesson, do they?
Aye, villains never do. You'd think after the first time someone tries to challenge Allah and fails miserably, the rest would catch on.
Abraha gathered an army. Oh, not just any army. He brought elephants. Huge, mighty elephants, led by a giant one named Mahmud. Together they marched toward Makkah, ready to destroy the Kaaba.
Now, I'll give him this, bringing elephants to the desert. That's thinking outside the nest.
But here's the twist. As Abraha got closer, a wise man named Abdul Muttalib gathered the people. Abdul Muttalib was the leader of Makkah and the grandfather of someone very, very special. Can you guess who his grandson is? That's right, Prophet Muhammad. So Abdul Muttalib made a bold decision. He told the people to leave the city and trust Allah to protect the Kaaba. Can you imagine walking away from your home and putting all your faith in Allah while an army of elephants marches toward you to destroy everything? That's courage.
Aye, that takes real guts. Not swinging swords, not calling an army. Just trust. That's something, all right.
And oh, just wait till you hear what happened next. Abraha's mighty army stood at the edge of Makkah. The elephants were lined up, their trunks swaying, their massive feet stomping the ground. The soldiers were ready, swords gleaming in the sun. And at the front, towering over them all, was Mahmud, the biggest and strongest elephant of them all.
Aye, classic formation. Elephants up front for shock and awe. Cavalry at the flanks. Foot soldiers in tight ranks. Standard battlefield tactics, but effective. If I were leading this charge...
Oh, so now you're a battle strategist. Admiral Suhail?
I've seen enough seagull scuffles on the docks to know a thing or two about formations, Zaki. You ever seen 100 seagulls fight over a single fish? That's real warfare.
The horns of war were blown. And you guessed it, the army of Abraha charged towards the Kaaba. Hundreds of soldiers, horses, and elephants were running fast. They were going to destroy the Kaaba. Oh no.
Right. Well, let's see how Abraha's perfect formation holds up.
But something completely amazing happened. As the army got close to the Kaaba, Mahmud the elephant stopped. He froze, his trunk curling downward. He looked at the Kaaba and was confused. It looked like he was asking himself, why am I attacking this beautiful building? The soldiers yelled and tugged at him, but Mahmud wouldn't move. It was as if he knew. This wasn't just any city. This was a sacred place. Then Mahmud did something so awesome, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Mahmud put his head down onto the ground in front of the Kaaba, like he was doing namaz or salat.
Ha! The first rule of battle, never trust an animal to charge into the unknown. If I were leading, I'd have...
You'd have what, Captain? Given the elephant a pep talk?
I was gonna say retreat. Never fight a battle when your biggest weapon refuses to budge.
And just as the soldiers began to grow impatient, the sky changed. First, a strange shadow swept across the ground. Then there was a sound. It wasn't thunder or wind, almost like a hurricane. Do you know what it was?
A dragon!
No, Captain, there are no dragons in our stories. But it was the sound of wings. Not just one wing, not hundreds, no, thousands of wings flapping all at once. The soldiers looked up, shielding their eyes from the sun. There they were, tiny birds, sparrows, swallows, and even hoopoes like me. Well, maybe not hoopoes, just the sparrows. Each one carried something in its claws, a small, round stone. They didn't look like much, but oh, they were powerful.
Now, this is an ambush. The old unexpected aerial strike. Textbook.
So now you approve of the strategy?
Aye, if I were leading those birds, I'd call it Operation Pebble Rain. Wait, I can think of a better name.
And then it began. The birds swooped down one after another, releasing their stones. The tiny pebbles fell like rain. But this was no ordinary rain. Well, I guess it was a storm of pebbles. The stones struck the soldiers, and oh, the mighty army began to crumble. There was chaos in the army of Abraha. Everyone was so surprised and scared, little birds coming from nowhere to attack. Horses reared up, soldiers fled, and even Mahmud, the giant elephant, turned and ran back toward Yemen. Abraha stood frozen, his mighty army crumbling before his eyes, not by swords or warriors, but by the tiniest of creatures and the smallest of stones. His grand plans, his towering pride, all swept away like sand in the wind. The once invincible army was no more.
Tactical perfection. Quick, efficient, no unnecessary losses. A battle won before it even began.
So, you're saying the sparrows were the real generals here?
Aye. All right. Turns out the best strategies don't always come from big armies. Sometimes they come from tiny wings and a well-aimed pebble.
It was over as quickly as it had begun. The birds, victorious, flew away, leaving nothing but silence. The Kaaba stood unharmed, a testament to Allah's protection. Abraha? Well, let's just say he learned his lesson. His pride and power crumbled into dust. He returned to Yemen, sad and defeated, and
I bet he never looked at a sparrow the same way again.
or a tiny stone. And so, my dear friends, the Kaaba was saved, not by the strongest of armies, but by the smallest of creatures. It's a reminder that no matter how small we are, with faith and courage, we can do incredible things. Wow! What an amazing journey we've had this season! And now we've ended with one of the most incredible stories of them all, the Year of the Elephant, tiny birds saving the day. What an ending! But you might be wondering how today's story connects to all those prophets? Well, it does. You see, this story is actually the introduction of the last prophet of Allah. This is just the beginning, because next season we'll dive into the most important stories of all. Season 2, The Prophet of Islam. It's the story of someone who changed the world forever, someone who brought light to dark times, taught us how to live with love and truth, and inspired people everywhere, including you, and even a hoopoe like me. Can you guess who I'm talking about? I know you can. But shh, no spoilers. You'll just have to wait and see. And trust me, my friends, it will be worth the wait. So until next season, stay curious, stay kind, and keep those wings, your hearts, ready for more adventures. Salam, my amazing friends. I'll see you soon in Season 2.
Waiting for the next part of the story. That's the hardest part.
Patience, Captain. Like I always say, the greatest tales take time to unfold.
I prefer a good adventure that starts in the middle of the action. No waiting around for prophecies and destinies. Just give me a ship, a daring mission, and a battle against impossible odds.
Oh, please, the best adventures begin with an ancient legend, a wise elder, and a journey filled with trials. That's the proper way to tell a story.
Aye, sure. If you like wandering through endless landscapes while someone dramatically stares at a map for 3 hours.
It's world building, Captain, a slow, meaningful journey to destiny. Not everything has to be about fast ships and loud battles.
Fast ships, loud battles, and a last-minute rescue. Now that's storytelling.
We'll never agree on this, will we?
Not in 1,000 seasons, my friend.
This story was produced by Mirage Digital. Narration by Wayne Holland. Episode written, edited, and directed by Syed Kashef and Atef Hussein. For more content by Mirage Digital, please visit our site at www.mirage.digital.
Content copyright and production copyright 2025 by Mirage Digital.